this is what he had to share with me. Namaste everyone, and welcome to Om Incense Show with DJ, a show that helps you increase your incense quotient. So if you are an incense enthusiast, consider subscribing. So today I found a very nice incense. I really liked it. I'd gone over to a neighbor's house and I just found it. I found his house very fragrant. It was smelling of this incense and I knew immediately that it's an incense. So I asked him what incense he's using, and this is what he had to share with me. It says Spiritual Sky. So there's another brand also called Spiritual Sky. I don't know if it's the same brand or something, but because both of them are they're linked to ISKCON, and the other Spiritual Sky that I'm talking about is somewhere in LA, Los Angeles, and this is based in Vrindavan. So I'll be giving the link of it in the description box below, because I had to really look up this incense on Google, and I found it somewhere in Vrindavan. So I'll be linking that in the description. You might just want to check this, and the incense is really good. So, and it says Spiritual Sky, and it shows, of course, it's a temple that we can see here. And this is Hare Krishna. It says always chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So if you can see it like that, it's a very nice beige and green colored incense pack, and it's a very simple cardboard pack and doesn't have the usual plastic cling film type of thing that they have. It's not there. So this is what we have. So on top is this, like that, we have Hare Krishna Mogra Incense sticks. On one side, what it says is the ingredients is selected aromatic herbs, resins, honey, jaggery, natural essential oils, etc. Herbal incense sticks, environment friendly, child labor free. So they haven't shown any logos, they've just written it plain like that. And it says incense sticks 150 sticks. So there are quite a few incense sticks, in fact, so you can see it like that. So it's 150 sticks, 250 grams, that's the weight of it, and the price is 200. The burning time, it says, is minimum 50 minutes. So on both the sides the packaging is the same, and on one side what we have is, it says best for prayers, meditation and yoga. Every purchase helps in achieving temple purpose. So they of course use this for the temple thing. A product of Radhika Raman and Company. I really like this name, Radhika Raman and Company, and then it gives the customer care number and stuff. So and on one side it says Spiritual Sky Mogra. So this is what the packaging is like, and this is what it was like. Now what we have is this plastic pouch. Yes, so it's a plain plastic pouch and it has all the incenses there. Now what we get inside are these usual 9-stick incenses. These are machine made incenses. So it has green bamboo core, just like that. A little thin, not very sturdy, but yeah, it's fine enough. I mean, you can place it in the incense holder, so it's like that. And it does have masala on top. So even though it's machine made, it has masala on top. They probably rolled it in the masala once they've dipped it, because this is clearly a dipped incense. So the fragrance is so good, I can't tell you. So the fragrance is a very, very beautiful combination of resin and floral with a very nice, it's like a nice twisted, there's this sweetness, that sweet note is very clearly twisted with resin and floral. So it's like that. It's a very clear fragrance of sambrani is there, and it's like I've told you always, it gives a very nice, very clear incense, the ashram incense feel. So this is what it is like. And of course, going by its time, like they say 50 minutes is like around 45-50 minutes. So that's the kind of burn time it will have. And it's a brown incense, if you can see that. It's a brown incense. And that is what we have. Now when we light up the incense, the fragrance is so good, I can't tell you. The fragrance is really good. I mean, I really had to ask him for it. I got this pack from you. I said I'll just go and review this and then I'll give it back to you. So like I said, you know, this has a very, very nice resin and floral with a nice sweetness. The sweetness is like the overall sweetness in it, and it's like the sweetness is quite pronounced. The sambrani is quite pronounced, and that ashram feel is so unmistakable. This fragrance you get anywhere, you will be sure that this is an ashram fragrance. And so that's the kind of fragrance this is. Like I told you, the resin and the floral is blended very well with the sweetness, so that overall rounded, well smoothened sweetness is there. The sambrani is there, and it's a very nice fragrance. So that's the kind of fragrance. This is nice ashram like fragrance. If you like the ashram kind of fragrance, you would like this. Talk of intensity, the intensity is mid mild, and the opening is quite pronounced. So it's not like the kind of incense that grows on you. It opens up quite well. From the very first time you light it up, the fragrance is emitted quite well. But it's a full bodied fragrance, but it's not in your face. It's a mid mild level kind of a fragrance, and it opens up quite well, and it maintains that fragrance note throughout the time that it's it's lit up. The blend is quite good, so it comes out in a the profile is quite static, so it's not like it opens up well and then it goes down. It's not like that. It opens up and then it maintains that mid-level intensity fragrance that it has. A nice, rich, full-bodied fragrance. If you like the ashram kind of fragrance, if you like sambrani fragrances, you would like this. So this is that kind of fragrance. If you talk of its diffusion, the diffusion is in my entire house, so I'm sure it's going to diffuse to a large area. The retention is really good. I'm sure, and like I said, if you do not open up the house, if your house is not it's like if you do not keep the house open, or if you've lit it up and you shut the house, because in his house he stays all alone, and he probably he does his puja in the morning and he goes away, and his house is shut throughout the day. So when he opened the house, I could very clearly get that fragrance in there. So the retention is quite good. If you light it up and the house is shut, it's going to remain there even for around 24 hours plus. So that's the kind of fragrance this is. This is a nice rich sambrani ashram kind of fragrance with that nice sweetness to it. Fragrance intensity is mid-level. The diffusion is to a large area. The retention is for a very long period, up to 24 hours. That's the kind of retention this is. So that's the kind of fragrance this is. If you like sambrani fragrances, if you like ashram kind of fragrances, this is your go-to fragrance. The only thing is I tried finding it on Google and I could only find it in one website. And I could find it on Amazon as well, but I am not really very sure if you will still find it there, because on Amazon this was currently unavailable, and even on their own website it was out of stock. So I'll be linking it in the description box, so you might just want to check that. So this was, I really like this incense. So this is like 5 stars. So this is Hare Krishna Mogra Incense Sticks, 5 stars. I've been giving quite a few 5 stars to many of these incenses these days. I guess I've been coming across quite a few nice ones. So that's the incense review that we had today. Now the quiz that we had last time was, in the olden days, people in India used to make artificial sandalwood also with using natural ingredients. So I wanted to know the name of one of those ingredients. Vidvatamji said essential oils, but that is not the correct answer. Muthu Ramanji said Sandaxol or something, but I think Sandaxol is a synthetic stuff. So what they did was, and this process is mentioned in Ras Ratnakar. That's a very nice, it's an ancient Indian text on alchemy. So this thing is mentioned there. And Varah Mihir, who was an astrologer, and he was a very famous, he had written this Brihat Samhita. It's a book which was compiled by him. So he has mentioned this in that also. So the process was like a neem tree would be chopped off. I mean, if there was a neem tree that would be chopped off, they would use the part which was still there in the ground intact. They would use that part, a certain 1 hand of length or something they mentioned there. So the technicalities are there, but that is what the thing that I'm telling you is the overall process. So what they would do is they would carve out, you know, the entire neem thing that was lying there on the ground. I mean, it was still intact in the ground, so they would clean it up from between. They would fill it all with guggal, and then with that same tree they made with that same tree wood, they would make a lid, and they would cover that tree trunk with it, with the guggal inside, and they would seal it with clay which was mixed with salt, and they would do that, and then they would provide heat to it, in the sense that they would make a square kind. So there was this tool which was a square kind of tool which was inside the earth, and then they would fill it with cow dung cakes and set it to fire, and once the fire cooled down, once the tree trunk had cooled down completely, they would process that wood, and that neem wood which was filled with guggal smelt like sandalwood. So that's how they made unnatural or man-made sandalwood in ancient India. That's how, well, you know, that's how progressive we were. So that is what the quiz that we had last time, and the quiz that we have this time is, so Kamrup was an area of India from which we got a very famous sacred incense wood. So name that wood to me. That's the quiz for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and you learned something from it. If you think somebody else can learn something from it, to share it with them. This is Dolly Jha here, and I thank you so much for watching this episode. Till we meet again next, take very good care of yourself. Namaste.